I learned that in some climes, how was your night is a crime. The way the same words, the same statements said by two people from two different places can mean two different things. There's a difference between take your time and take your time depending on the color of the skin of the sayer. One is a treat, the other is a threat. How do I explain to a blonde man that in some nations moonlight is more than illumination in the sky? That instead it's a silent call for attention. To an African boy from a certain generation, a tortoise is not a tortoise creepy creature, a mass of rock with some stretch of skin that looks like an afterthought. A tortoise is not a tortoise. What they see as tortoise to us is memories. Memories of the cracked voice of our grandma, pure oratory, beautiful poetry, the way she drags her words and dramatizes with her hands, the way she drags her words from cliff to climax, but before it bursts, the way she bursts into songs. The beat, tap of the feet, call and repeat in that moment. You can just feel the stars staring jealous, the tortoise swelling with pride. For in that moment, it's not a creepy creature. It's clever, slow but intelligent, cunning in a good way, mischievous. You just need to see the twinkle in the eyes of the kids who sat listening in silence, and I bet you would bet that somewhere deep down they wish they were half human, half tortoise. Have you ever heard of the parable of the blind man and the elephant? Every day you see blind men and women on YouTube. They've been schooled all their lives that Africa is a jungle. Set them loose with a camera and see them fall over each other. They book a ticket jungle session for monkeys and bananas, the pool of gorillas and prints of elephants. They surmount hills and mountains, part dead, scramble into caves, looking for dead bones, bust and beast, trinket tusks, and topless tribes. Have you ever heard of the parable of the blind man and the elephants? Every day you see blind men and women on cable. They've been schooled all their lives that Africa is Nazareth. And as Nicodemuses, they look down from far, see, and all they see is Jerusalem. I see them blink the way their eyes skip the beautiful gates and rich history. I see them drool, tapping on the buttons on their drones. It's the way they zoom in, not on the glitters on the gates, nor the beautiful rocks that make the pillars solid. They zoom in on a patch. It's a pool named Bethesda, having 5 porches. It's west, it's east, north, it's central, southern. It's a symbol of Africa. The air is punched with the stench of sweat mixed with filth and blood from flesh cuts. To the left is a lame man leading his blind wife who is weeping because she lost her deaf daughter the day before. It's the way they zoom in, not on the glitters on the gates, nor the beautiful rocks that make the pillars solid. They zoom in on a continent paralyzed. There is war, fist fight, is the survivor of the fitless, sickness, unemployment, blackouts. Curtain falls. Curtain rise, for the way we have 2 sides of a coin is the same way we have 2 sides of a story. How can we forget in a hurry that somewhere on the streets of Germany in 1884, a raped continent was ripped into parts, placed on platters to be shared amongst our rapists? Is it not an irony that today the grandchildren of the rapists is the one using a searchlight to find the secret places of the raped? I now know what my forefathers meant when they said, a mango tree cannot bear oranges. It's the way they zoom in on the fields and blood from flesh cuts. On a continent paralyzed, there is war, fist fights. Is the survivor of the fitless, sickness, unemployment, and blackout. But there is more. The resilience of a people, dogged, happy, ingenious, genius builders. There is culture, there is hope, dreams, aspirations. And only a man trained to mine diamonds can know the worth of a mineral covered in mud. Nay, if only we could give the minerals microphones, how sweet would it be to hear them sing, "We are diamonds." And when they fail to give minerals microphones, diamonds would always sparkle. We are diamonds.